Now we're going to talk about writing decimals as fractions. And I want you to think about 3 things that you need to do in order to write decimals as fractions. You first need to read it like a mathematician would. So we talk about using those math words, not like 4 over 5 or 0.45. You need to read it like a mathematician. You then need to write it just as it sounds as a fraction. And then, last step is always with fractions to simplify. So let's take a minute to review our place value, okay? So if I have the number here, and I'm not going to read it like a mathematician because I want us to get our place value down, but this 5 here, so 0.548, this 5 is in what place? Remember, that's going to be the 10ths spot. The 4 is what? The hundredths. And it goes tenths, hundredths, thousandths. What would come next? 10,000ths, 100,000ths. So we notice the pattern there. Okay? So how would I read this like a mathematician? Let's first read it like a mathematician. Well, that's going to be 548 thousandths. Okay, I read it like a mathematician. Now I'm going to write it just as it sounds. Okay, 548 thousandths. Over 1,000 there. And the last step is to simplify. All right, here's where I'm going to have to look for those common factors to divide them both by. Well, I know they're both even numbers, so I'm going to start by just dividing each of them by 2. It's going to give me 500 on the bottom and 274 up top. Oh, they're both even, so I can divide them by a 2. To get 137. Is that as far as it can go? I believe it is. So I'm going to circle my answer, and that 548 thousandths is the same as 137 over 250 written as a fraction. Let's do some more. Up here I have, first I'm going to read it as mathematician, 28 hundredths. So I'm going to write it 28 hundredths. I know they're both divisible by 4. So I'm going to simplify now. That's going to give me 7 on top and 25 on the bottom. So I've just written that decimal as a fraction. This next one I'm going to read it as a mathematician. 4 tenths. I can divide both of those by 2 to simplify, and I'm going to get 2 fifths as my answer. Now you'll need to pause the video, and there are 4 problems that I would like you to solve on your own. Reading it like a mathematician, then writing it as it sounds, then simplifying. Go ahead and pause. Let's see how you did. You should have written this one as 6 tenths. Which then would be simplified, dividing both by 2, to 3 fifths. Right here, 25 hundredths. Well, I know that 25 goes into 100, so I'm going to divide them both by 25. That's going to be 1/4. Down below here, 45 hundredths. I know I can divide both of those by 5. That's going to be 20 on the bottom, 9 up top. That's as far down as it can go. And the last one here, that's 370 thousandths. Now what's unique about this is because I have powers of 10 here, I can go ahead and just cross off those last zeros there. 1 0 on the top, 1 0 on the bottom. Or I can think of it as I just divided by 10. So now I'm left with 37 hundredths. That can't be simplified any further, so my answer is just going to be 37 hundredths. All right, you are done with writing decimals as fractions. Go ahead and complete your practice.